When your instrument is the size of a small building, how on earth do you practice? The answer to this question depends on the type of organ and the location. Not all organs are as big as this one, and we actually have organs that are specifically made for practice in practice rooms. Practice organs are usually a lot smaller, they might only have one or two functional stops, and they're basically just there for you to learn how to play the notes and how to play the pedal part. So you don't really think about the registration. It's just there for the notes. So then once you've learned the notes, you do have to add the registration, figure out how to make your registration changes, everything like that. And that's when you come into your performance instrument like this one. This one is in an organ recital hall, which is very lucky because we don't have to share the space with many other instrumentalists. During the school year, we have a schedule among all the organ students of who has what time reserved. But right now, because it's the summer, I've been able to come in here pretty much whenever, which is how I'm filming so many videos in this space. However, at the school where I did my undergrad, the organ was in a shared space, which lots of other ensembles and instrumentalists used. So that meant that we had to go into their online scheduling system, reserve our practice time in advance, and there were rules about how many consecutive hours you can reserve or how far in advance you can reserve the time. So that can be a little bit challenging, and you definitely have to strategize and make the most of the time you get on the performance instrument while you're there. This is why if you follow Anna Lapwood, you may see her practicing overnight at all sorts of odd hours because in general, the more busy a venue is, the harder it is to practice the organ because it's kind of a very loud and hard to ignore process. So it's definitely one of the most frustrating and challenging aspects of being an organist because you don't get unlimited time to practice on your performance instrument. And there's a huge difference between playing on a practice organ and then playing on a performance instrument like this one. But it's just something we have to adapt to and be very flexible about. And then the third option is a church organ that's in a church space. So for example, my church job, I can pretty much just show up anytime and use the organ. But at some churches, you do have to make a reservation or just communicate well if there's anything else going on in the sanctuary. And then we'll often go over to other churches that we don't work for just to practice on their organs. And again, you usually just contact the organist or contact the staff and schedule some time. So the short answer is that we practice on practice organs and we schedule time in advance for the other instruments. And it's one of the most unique parts about being an organist and also one of the most challenging.